one of the signs of a healthy democracy. The more people vote, the chances of representation for different groups and beliefs increase. So, there is one important question. How do you get people to vote? On their paper, Social Pressure and Voter Turnout, Alan Gerber, Donald Green, and Christopher Larimer tried to answer this question by determining if social pressure has an effect on voter turnout. They did this by conducting an experiment before the Michigan primary elections of 2006. After randomly selecting 180,000 households, they divided them into 5 groups. First, the control group consisted of 100,000 households that received no treatment. Then, there were 4 different treatment groups, each composed of 20,000 households. For the first group, researchers sent a letter that reminded them that voting was their civic duty. The second group received a letter telling them they were being studied for an experiment. The change in behavior from people knowing that they are being watched is known as the Hawthorne effect. The third group was told they would get a second letter after the election, detailing whether or not they had voted. And the fourth group was told that after the election there would be a list containing their names and the names of the neighbors, indicating if each individual had voted. This is what the study found. For the civic duty households, voter turnout was 31.5%, while the second group voting reached 32.2%. The third group had a voting turnout of 34.5%, and the last group reached the highest participation, with 37.8%. This was the only group that was made aware that not only they were being watched, but also that their behavior would be known by people close to them. This means that treatment households voting increased up to 8.1% compared to the control households, with these results being statistically significant. This change becomes even more relevant when we take into account that previous studies had never reached increases of 5 to 8%. On the other hand, researchers found that social pressure had a constant effect across subsamples, with different household size and voting history, meaning that the possible disclosure of one's behavior had a direct effect on their willingness to vote, regardless of their previous voting participation or their sense of civic duty. Another relevant aspect of the study was that the cost of implementing the treatment was considerably lower than other methods, such as phone banks and door-to-door campaigns. The mailing sent to the self-group cost $3.24 per vote, while the neighbors group treatment cost $1.93 per vote. On the other hand, door-to-door campaigns and phone banks usually cost $20 and $35 per vote. So, now that we know that in order to reach a higher vote turnout, we can save ourselves a lot of money and time by taking advantage of one simple thing: